quickly, I'd like to call to order the meeting of the License Commission for the City of Gardner on September 13th, 2022 at 4:30. Quick announcement, any person may make a video or audio recording of an open session of the meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium subject to reasonable requirements of the chair as to the number, placement, and operation of equipment used so as not to interfere with the conduct of the meeting. Any person intending to make such a recording shall notify the chair forthwith. All documents referenced or used during the meeting must be submitted in duplicate to the clerk. All documents shall become part of the official record of the meeting. The commission consists of 3 members. A quorum of 2 members are needed for a motion. The ruling for section 14, which is a 1-day license, lie with the local commission. Local ruling on violations can be appealed to the ABCC within 5 days of receiving the written decision. Just when approaching the commission, please state your full name for the record. Sign the sign-in sheet right down here below, and our agenda this evening is as follows. Minutes for August 9th, 2022. Members, did you have a chance to look at the minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
Make a motion to accept the minutes as printed.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. None, motion carries. Meetings for August 9th, minutes are approved. Let me send it to Randy. Randy, I just signed those and then I date it so you have it for your record. Okay. We'll jump around just a little bit here because we have Oktoberfest, so we kind of have a bunch of stuff packaged in there. So we'll do Holy Family Academy first, so you don't have to hang around for everything. And it states here that you're looking for a 1-day license.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it's to take place on September 23rd. And it's a paint night. So 6 to 10, 80 people. And this is a fundraiser. Just beer and wine, correct? No full alcohol?
Just beer and wine.
Okay.
Is it on the agenda?
Yes.
Oh, it's not on this one.
No, it's on.
It's number 14.
Oh, is this one printed off?
This is the one I
Oh, okay, okay.
printed from my computer, but I see that it's on the one that you just gave me.
Yeah, okay.
So I haven't seen it yet.
No problem. So it'll just take a couple of seconds to review. And what's the fundraiser for? Is it for?
It's to support the school at HFA.
Okay.
How's it going? You back to normal there yet?
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
My name's Colette Gobin.
Oh.
I'm the new principal there.
Oh, you are? Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
The only thing I don't see is it's just a drawing of the area. Did you submit a drawing for?
We did. I have an extra copy here. if you need it.
Put it right on top.
Mhm.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
I do have it. Would anybody like to speak on behalf of this fundraiser? And crowd? Chief, any questions, comments, or concerns?
No, I've attended over the years. Fundraisers are usually pretty quiet events. So I don't have any issue with the issuance of the 14th.
Any questions, comments, concerns? Nancy, Ken?
No, everything looks here.
Is this stuff supposed to be in the journal?
Yeah. That's the description here and then kind of the layout of where it would be. I'm not familiar with the building itself, but you can ask a question.
Again, I'm not quite sure I understand.
This is like the front lawn.
Yes, so yeah, it's the front lawn right in front of the school, and
This is
then
the
right in
walkway.
front of the, yep, the walkway, and then the other section's right in front of the church.
So that would be the walkway of the church. And this is
Oh, I
this would be
see.
the left side of the lawn.
Okay.
And then the right side of the lawn.
The church is over here.
Right.
Yeah,
The walkway's
99
here.
Nichols.
Okay.
Perfect. The volunteers, I'm guessing, are either teachers or parents
Yes.
of the children. Yeah.
All right, then I guess I move that we issue the one-day license.
My second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. The license for September 23rd for Holy Family Academy is approved. One thing we ask when we have these events is you'll get a license, a certificate that explains the time frame for when you're having your function. Excuse me, if you can just leave that in the serving area,
Sure.
so that way if city employee, Gardner Police Department, anybody shows up, they can see that the license is there in
Absolutely.
plain view.
Excellent. Yep.
And you will send her
Yes,
a
we will.
copy? Perfect. Great.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank
All
you
right.
for your time.
Thanks, Bud. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Now, next is the hearing for the Oktoberfest, Saturday, September 24th, 2022, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Let's see. And we have, I had asked a few of the breweries to come in, or as many as they could come in, just for representation. Rick, I didn't want to put it solely on you to have to distribute all the information to everybody. So at least they're here, they can understand if the license approved, the way you put the license, et cetera, and go from there. And if you want to just give us a brief overview of kind of what's going on and the layout, kind of explain the layout, and if there's, to take questions and.
I'm Rick Walton, President Moon Hill Brewing Company. As Oktoberfest continues to expand, and its plan is to expand. Last year, you all know that the city made Oktoberfest an official holiday. Now it's the last Saturday in September, and so the city is more and more involved in the Gardner Festival Committee. The mayor sits on the committee, and Chester Royer, the Economic Development Department, sits on the committee. And the mayor proposed that we could expand the liquor pour, the beer and wine pouring area. And the suggestion was to begin it at the finish line of the Cherry Rouge in front of Beauregard's liquor store, and then continue it up the street to the regular area, which is in front of the Ale House, the Mackey Lawn, West Street parking lot, and then to continue it beyond the lights, the Connor and Graham Street lights, up the street towards the center of town. And the question was, what would we propose? How far would we go up there? And it came back, I don't know how it came back to be that part where the love sign is. I don't know whose suggestion that was. Do you remember? I guess it was the mayor. I'm not sure.
I'm sorry, is that at the park? The side
Yeah.
of the park?
So,
Yeah,
was that
where's the
park, so right across
where
from
the
like
theater used
White
to
Dog
be.
Park,
Yeah,
White
yeah,
Dog
yeah.
Printing is, like right
Yeah.
across the street there?
And yeah, that's what was proposed by the group.
Just one question.
Yeah.
I don't see, I apologize, Berkshire on here. Is there a place that, are they going in the same footprint?
They have backed out.
Berkshire did
Oh,
not submit
okay,
anything.
okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good enough.
So there will only be four, correct? Four.
For pouring, yeah, engines, yeah.
All right, so real quickly, just to jump back onto the actual layout. So this is expanded over the normal years, the proposal to expand it left down to Bureau Guards,
Mhm.
and then, well, if I'm looking at it this way, and then right down to kind of where White Dog Printing is,
Yeah,
in the little park area there.
yeah.
So basically from here to down here.
Yep.
So in years past, after the luge, you've shrunk the size of the footprint, you want to keep it the same, is that what your plan would be
Well,
this year?
yeah, I'm not clear on that. Have we shrunk the size of the footprint?
Yeah.
Then I would say let's continue to do that. Bring,
Okay, like up to here, so people can still turn in Lafayette Square?
yeah.
They can still make the
So
loop around?
the chair
On
luge.
the far left, Mike.
So we'll cut it here?
Well, during the chair luge, it'll be closed all the way down to
All
Oak
the way
Street.
down, okay.
And then after the chair luge finishes, they would remove the barricades up,
Okay, so
Up
people
above.
can go left around.
so people can,
Yeah.
they can reuse the
And
wall.
actually, that area down below does not even get closed off until 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because we need to leave it open for the buffer zone and the other last minute gifts. We keep it open down there as late as possible. And the chair luge starts at 2, so we start setting it up at 1 o'clock, and that's when the street gets closed off down by Oak Street,
Okay.
down that way.
Yeah.
So we're talking about a sort of a resizing of the flooring area. It would shrink back after
So
3:30.
it would shrink back down to like where the hub insurance, corner of the hub insurance there, and that's where the barriers would be moved.
That's
Yeah.
traditionally how it's gone after.
Yeah, I
the luge.
remember that, so we'll just cross that off after the chair luge, we're gonna move everything back.
Yeah.
Because he had it all the way down to here, so.
I mean,
Well, it stops here, right?
Maybe
With the
we'll-
turnarounds.
Right here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with the
that's
turnaround.
where he's proposing, but we're gonna keep it here. It's gonna stay right there. They're gonna move everything back
Sure.
after the chair luge is done.
What's the reason to go down to White Dog?
We're just expanding the Oktoberfest festival, the Oktoberfest theme. We plan on taking over the whole city someday with German food and people dressed up in German costumes, stuff like that. And you know how like what Keene did with the Pumpkin Festival? We're going to do that with Oktoberfest.
Nice.
So
Well,
any
you
questions about going this way with it?
I'm sorry.
Can't call on her.
So I do have, so the other thing I would say is that we also have Celebrate Gardner Fall Festival going on at the same time, which
Yeah.
leads down from the intersection up at Central Street.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's,
We're kind of like overlapping, merging, becoming friendlier as we.
So Chief, you'd have to post up more staff down.
Just doing the,
Yes.
we need people at each barricade, without question, just to make sure I know you usually hire bouncers and stuff like that to augment the staff. So, you definitely want somebody down
In
here.
the past, we had, where this lawn area is, remember there was like Jersey barriers
Yeah, we
here?
had barriers set up.
Because it ended right at that street.
We had a fence set up here.
For cars coming,
Yeah,
accidentally.
that intersection is going to be closed now.
So that'll
I
all
mean,
be shut
that's the
down.
proposal.
Yeah, the Graham Street's gonna be closed.
Yeah.
It was open last year, it's gonna be closed this year.
So
But
Graham
we're
Street's
not,
closed.
we're not
Graham and
actually
Connors
putting
are
anything
closed.
in there so
Okay.
that emergency vehicles can
Can
fly
get through,
through.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So we don't have an issue with the road closure. In fact, the road closure is probably a better idea.
Okay,
It's a little bit safer idea.
okay. So you're okay having it get expanded down to here?
Yeah, I just would want to make sure that we definitely have postings at the barricades, just so that we don't have bleed over.
So what would that require, so for
So is
another?
Is it before the park or is it after the park?
Well, it's after, right up to the park is included in the area.
Okay.
So it'll be here.
So you need people behind this, in this area that goes down to the lower lot as well. in the
Well, you
back.
need somebody at the steps to
So
hold
there's a staircase here.
the
right,
top.
that goes down to
Yeah.
the parking lot?
Right, no, obviously not down there, we're just talking about
Yeah.
above.
Right, but you need somebody there just to
Yeah.
make sure there's no alcohol beyond that
Right.
point, down
Yep.
to the parking lot.
How many bouncers did you hire?
10?
We have 11 at the moment, and we're building up staff. I have a couple details I wanted to add too.
Cool.
We have Stacy Kaczynski at Gardner. We also have another pouring station. I'm noticing we have Moon Hill up in the parking lot. We always typically have right in front of the ale house as well. So between River Styx and the crosswalk, right in front of the Alehouse will
So
have.
right in that street
Yeah.
area right there?
Well, we're
Yeah, I
also
remember
planning on
those,
doing
so-
food and beer right there as
Okay.
well.
Is that a tent that's gonna be there?
Oh, yeah, a
Little
pop-up.
10 by 10 probably.
Sorry, that wasn't on there, it just occurred to me. And then, just to address the question about moving it up the street too, oh, and I'm noticing right now, the big white food truck thing, that festival that Angela mentioned that's up the street, they have food trucks, planted right there in front of Happy Trails across from the, intersection, so the idea is putting river sticks over there, and they'll be able to kind of have a little, cafe area over there. The city's also, I think, planning to put tables and chairs out by food trucks and things so people can sit and eat in that area as well.
So are you also gonna have a food tent in front?
We're gonna have a takeout station at that little pop-up tent in front of the ale house, where you can get anything on the menu as a takeout item. And then, in the West Street parking lot, that's where our main footprint is. We have a big 20 by 40 tent in which we do food and beer. And that food is just simple food. Pizza
So
and dogs.
you got Red Apple and the Catering Club also up there.
Yes. Yeah.
So I don't think I was there last year, but in the past I've seen there was a stage or a tent set up in the far part of the lot.
Yeah, up at
where
the top of the lot.
music is
Yep,
being
that's
played.
the
And we always
stage.
have a security guy up there as well, so they can't go up those.
Is there still gonna be a band up in that area?
Yep.
Okay, so, can you just do us a favor, can you redo this plan?
Yeah.
With just put the tent there?
Yep.
Right
Yeah.
there, and then highlight here where you guys are gonna, to this park area, where you shut off, and then also put a bandstand up here,
Mhm.
or whatever you wanna put in there, just make a notation of it, just so we know what's going on.
Uh-huh.
So what do we have going on in the lawn area?
The lawn area has now a stage, a 20 by 10, a 20 by 12 stage that Chartier Contracting is going to build on the fly on the day, so that we can do some of the ceremonies there, and we'll have a Bavarian band playing there. And
So you're
we'll
gonna have
be-
a band there and a band in the
Not
back
at the
of
same
lot?
time, but at opening, we'll be down on the stage in the Mackey lawn, and we'll be doing a Stein holding competition there. Are you familiar with the Stein holding competition?
Just right.
It's one of these things, who can hold the Stein out the longest, men's and women's competition. It's a new thing we're doing, it's kind of chair luge. Another funny thing. So the opening ceremonies take place in front of the ale house, basically, and with that stage. And then the chair luge continues, and then after the luge, music up in the West Street parking lot.
Okay.
So what's that become afterwards? Because I remember
That
before
stage?
you had tables and chairs out there.
Yeah,
in the
we're gonna
past.
have some chairs in the street in front of the ale house to make a little cafe area. There won't be as much room.
But not on the grass area.
Well, we might have a few picnic tables on there, but we'll have 3 cornholes.
It just seems like a waste of space.
Well, we'll have 3 cornholes too, and each cornhole takes up a fair amount of space.
That's how it was last year, you had
Yeah.
cornhole sets up
Yeah.
in that, which took up pretty much half the lawn, if I remember.
Chief, what do you need for numbers on this?
I'd say, well, the traditional ones with 3 we have with you usually all the time in there?
3 down in the
Down
area.
in the area, yeah.
Well, you
And we-
used to add one for the chair who's down at the bottom. Or something.
I would say probably gonna have to add a 4th one over here. So the 3 normal, the 4th one over here, and I think this one you could probably make during the chair luge. So the 5th one could be a shorter duration one. It's hard to figure out, I mean, the crowd's not usually an issue. It's just obviously the sheer size of the crowd.
Yeah.
And to get people in if something were to happen would be a little bit more difficult. But I think we usually did during the chair luge, and then this officer left. And then the 3 officers assigned here, and then I would say 1 more on the end where River Styx is. You're gonna put River Styx.
Did you ask me questions just there? Where am I going to put River Styx, or did you?
Well, you said River Styx.
No, River Styx is right here.
Oh, I thought it moved down. I apologize.
No, we decided to keep pouring down in this area, even though you can walk up there with your beverage. We decided to keep pouring down here because we didn't want to expand it.
Well, you're still gonna need, I think you're still gonna need coverage on this side.
Yep.
So, I mean, we can do the shorter one with this one, but I think you need 4
Yeah.
covering this area. So, we can do, what time's the chair luge?
2:30, 2 o'clock.
So what time are you gonna shut down?
We're gonna
after
shut
this
down
one?
1 o'clock. I mean,
1 o'clock?
the whole downtown area shuts down at 8 AM for setup.
Yep.
And that includes in front of the ale house, 8
Okay.
AM all the way up the street. But from the ale house down to Beauregard's, that doesn't shut down until 1 o'clock.
Okay, so why don't we have that officer show up at, say, when do you think it'll wrap up, the
3:30.
Okay, so why don't we have the officer come like 12:30 to 4:30, it's a 4 hour anyways. So would that give you, that'll give you a little bit extra down here. Once you move up, you finish the luge, you move up here, then, or up to here, then I think they can maintain that footprint with. It's just a little bit bigger. I just think to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's expanded down this whole street into the little park area. Here, correct? So it's gone from here to here, down to here.
And that area is, has always been a quiet area. During the fall festival, it's like, we're trying to wake that area up a little bit. It's just never been much going on.
When you say Graham Street's gonna be closed, is it gonna be closed all the way at the beginning?
Richmond, we won't allow through
Oh.
traffic through, so we'll
Okay.
shut it at Richmond
Okay,
and not let, obviously residents can go to their houses, but
Right.
we won't allow through traffic, and we'll close it at City Hall Ave in Connors.
Okay.
So we won't allow any vehicles up through there. You'll obviously be able to utilize the parking space behind the old police station, and it'll be easy for people to traverse. Where it was open last year, it just seemed to cause a little bit more
yeah,
chaos.
okay. So that's closed. Okay, so the proposal for detail, can you run through that real quick again, how many you're gonna need and what times? Because this is till 8 o'clock at night, correct?
No, it's beyond that, right?
What do you?
No, actually, it's, last call is 7:30.
It says 11 AM to 8 PM is the function.
Right.
For the function.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you said 11 PM.
No, 11 AM to 8 PM.
Yep.
So last call is 7:30?
Yep. Everybody has their drinks out of their hands by 8 PM, and then we need another hour to open up the street. Now, uptown, you guys will be opening up like at 4 o'clock, or when that festival closes down.
So that's a good question.
Well, up to the park that we're talking about, the Love Park for lack of another name, that could go till 8 o'clock. I have a feeling that nobody's gonna be up there, at that time. Everybody's gonna be in the West Street parking lot across from the Ale House. We could shrink it, I don't know. What do you think?
I think it might be.
Oh, the
one of
food trucks will
There's
be
gotta be
there.
food trucks there, and if they
So-
still have food and still wanna keep going,
Yeah.
we wanna let them.
Yeah.
So the food trucks, are they gonna stay there till 8 o'clock, or are they gonna be
That's
gone at 4
up to
o'clock
them.
on the rest of the
Yeah.
I
festival?
think that's the plan.
Food trucks haven't submitted their permit applications yet, so I don't know if their time frames on that. I'll check with Jessica Delory on that.
Okay. Okay.
Because they're invited to stay as far as we're concerned, but that is being handled by the people up the street.
Okay.
So hours wise, the road's gonna be shut down by 8 o'clock. We're already gonna have officers assigned to the Fabulous Fall Festival anyways, handling the other side of it. So while the road closures are, until the event really kicks off, I wouldn't say we necessarily need to put anybody there per se. Maybe to help assist with any type of movement across roadways or anything like that, if they need to do anything like that. Other than that, maybe a half hour before it starts, an hour before it starts, whatever you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, I mean, we usually move the barriers ourselves anyway. Dane just leaves them across the street, and we grab them at, 8 o'clock, so that we can send people back and forth and do a lot of setup and stuff. So we don't really, there's nothing going on really.
And you need another, I'd say probably 10 to 10 or 10:30 to 9, something like that. Just to make sure that there's adequate coverage after the event in case there's any lingering issues, and then prior to,
Right.
just in case to address anything need be. Other than that, I don't see any reason to go further than that.
Okay. All right. And you just tell us how many officers you're.
I'd say 4 for the duration with the expanded footprint, and I'd say 1 during the chair luge event during that 4-hour block.
So 4 with the fifth 4 hour.
Correct.
Any chance of getting a few more of your bouncers? 12 doesn't seem like a lot for this number, you know? With the number of area, the entrance and exits.
We'll get as many as we can. I ordered plenty of t-shirts. He stays secured in the back, so we can keep getting.
And you said 12 right now?
I think we have 11 right now, but we'll keep trying.
Yeah, I mean.
That helps out a lot.
Yeah, I just think the hot point obviously is, since it's been expanded down to this area, just making sure there's somebody down in that area that goes into the parking lot.
Our lead guy that's the first thing he brought up to you. He
Okay.
goes, okay, so we gotta work on this part over here.
Yeah.
Their minds are already done.
Okay, all right, good. All right. Yeah, just because I think, well, we're gonna be having more pouring stations, and with River Styx coming, and Moon with Acadian Club and Red Apple, you're probably gonna see an increase of traffic, I'm guessing. Yeah,
That's the key.
that's the whole, hey, we'll see what it is, just wanna be safe, that's all. All right.
You're not gonna put your truck up in the back corner again, are you?
Sure.
Your beer truck?
Yeah.
We also have we've had the same spot for since we've been there, it was 6 years or something, we've had the same spot.
Yeah, you're up in the left-hand corner, right?
Yeah.
On this side there?
Yeah,
Right next to,
Gear
Yeah.
Small Shop. Yeah.
are you guys doing food too, or no?
No.
Okay. River Styx, are you doing food, or is it just pouring?
Just learn. Keep it going. We do have, there's a couple more, there's at least one more food truck that's not on here too, though. We have another food truck up in.
Oh, yeah, we have a food truck in the parking lot across the street from our house. Same
You
truck.
guys do?
Yeah.
Here.
Sweet and savory, Shane's.
That's
They're in,
inside, not with the food trucks? It's
Right,
inside
it's
the
inside
parking
the
lot?
West Street parking lot, yeah.
Do you want us
You know
to add
Union
that?
Square?
Yeah, can you add that in there too? And you need a license for that
So
too, right?
Shane has a food truck permit, he's able to be mobile.
Oh, okay, cool.
Sweet and Savory does not have a Gardner food permit.
He is sweet, he's both.
Oh,
He's
he is
Shane.
both, okay,
Yeah.
my
He goes by
apologies.
both names.
He has one food permit, but
Okay.
he's permitted to use it on both trucks, I just don't have the name of the other truck.
Oh, okay. All right, so he's good. You guys can take care of that. Okay.
This is number 17, in case anybody was wondering.
I noticed on your
A
shirt
long
there.
time.
Any questions, comments, concerns? Chief, anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Yes.
So we submitted our peddler's license last week. If we don't hear anything, are we just good to go, or?
No.
Are you hearing something?
Yeah.
Can you come up and introduce yourself?
Yeah, you can come up and introduce yourself real quick. You can sign the sign-in sheet.
Desiree Marino, River Styx Brewing.
Okay.
Chief, do you want to answer that, or you want me to answer that?
I assume that the application packet's already been submitted.
So Stacia handles the hawkers and peddlers at the PD level,
Yep.
and she is very good at communicating with the vendors once they're approved. I also will be inspecting the area that day, so I will follow up with Stacia to make sure that everybody who's on the list has the correct permits before we move forward.
Okay, awesome.
All right. All right. Any other questions? Anybody? Good. Members? Kenny, Nancy?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right, so we'll start with the Gardner Railhouse, Moon Hill Brewery first. So we'll approve all the 1 days separately. So forgive me if we repeat a couple things here. We'll do the Gardner Railhouse first.
Make a motion to approve their one-day license.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. So 1 day license is approved for Gardner Railhouse, Moon Hill Brewery, 9/24/2022 from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And you've heard this 100 times. You're going to get a certificate. make sure you put it in the serving area, just so if there's any questions or city, municipality, employee needs to ask any questions. Okay? All right. Next, we'll do the Red Apple Farm Cidery. Any questions, comments, or concerns on the Red Apple Cidery?
Number 12, Nancy. Second, it's number 12, the second page.
Is anybody here in front?
I can represent them because we're setting up for them.
Oh,
And we may be setting it.
So, Stacy, you represent them?
I am today. The cidery is a joint effort between Hill and Medical Farms, so.
Stacy
So
was
you're
also the
part-
applicant.
Okay. Make a motion we approve it?
hold on, I gotta find it.
Oh,
Found it. Okay, now I'm making a motion.
motion to approve Red Apple Farms one-day license.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Red Apple Cidery is approved for the Oktoberfest, 9/24/2022, from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And same thing. Certificate, leave it in plain view, please, at the serving station. Quick question, payment. Has everything been paid as far as
Yes.
fees and everything? Good? Okay. All right. Next on the list, we will do River Sticks Brewing. Huh? Oh yeah, I'll jump to that one. Sorry, I wasn't going by this. This one.
Yep.
So, River Sticks Brewing requested the one day as well. And represented by Desiree Moreno. Is that how you say it? And did you have any more questions or anything else we can help you out with?
Quick, Mike.
Mhm.
I believe payment's still due on your application.
I feel mine, I never received.
Okay, I just didn't catch up with it today then.
Okay.
Thank you. You paid online. No, you came in and paid.
I didn't make a payment.
Yeah, through the permitting software, you can pay for your food permit.
Do they charge you an extra 3%?
Yes, they
Yeah, that's
do.
why I don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're close.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve River Sticks Brewing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Application is approved for River Six Brewing, 9/24/2022, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Desiree, same thing. You'll get a certificate, put it in the serving area just so everybody knows your serving times. Good to go there. All right, and the last one, we have the Acadian Club. We requested a one day as well for the Oktoberfest on September 24th. Actually, date of function says 9/25 on the license. On the request. Just a heads up.
Oh,
Does.
Just make sure
we'll
we
fix
change.
that.
Yeah, just make sure we change that and that it's definitely on the certificate, so let me give him a certificate. You were almost doing it by yourself on Sunday.
I'll take it all in.
Thanks, Rob.
And looks like you got Girardi distributor. Application packet approved. Okay. All right. Any other questions, comments, or concerns?
So you're from the Katie Club? Yes. Okay, so do you want to come up and introduce yourself and sign the sheet?
Robert Cormier, I hold liquor license, past, present, all that fun stuff.
All right. Okay. Any questions,
No,
comments?
Move that we issue a one-day license to the Katie Club.
second.
Making them wait.
The last one's just dragging us all.
Were you trying to make a point over there?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Motion carries. License is approved for September 24th, 2022, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Same thing. Make sure you leave your certificate right above your serving area. And you are good to go.
We'll just
So-
make sure we get the date correct.
Yeah, make sure that's corrected on there, so it's the right date on the 24th, Saturday. And I believe, yeah, we'll take care of that, but we're good with,
Oh,
yeah, we're good with Oktoberfest, so you guys are all set.
If
All right.
the updated map goes, should we send it to Brandy?
yes.
Send it to Brandy, yeah, and she'll put it in the packet.
And Jessica.
Oh, got it.
Thank you.
And,
Brandon
and
for it.
Chief McAveen and Lieutenant Maroney, or Deputy,
Well, it's still Lieutenant right now.
all right, Lieutenant Maroney.
Got it.
So they have just a copy of the plan too.
Got it.
All right,
Thank you. Thank you.
thank you, good luck.
Thank you.
Everybody. See you guys out.
Congratulations, Chief.
Oh, for a very successful outing.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Take care.
Bye, Ron.
Oh, I didn't even see the whole back there.
He snuck in.
Let's see, hide. All right, so we get there. Next on the agenda is, let's see, change of manager for Hannaford Supermarket, Victory Distributors.
So they've asked to be moved to the next month agenda because their attorney could not be present this month.
Okay, all right, that's granted, you can do that in October, so move that to October meeting.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, so just shoot a message over to them, let them know that they're gonna be here in October. And next is old business, old case, post 905 BFW change of manager, and updated paperwork submitted. So I was happy to see that they finally got the message. So they're good there, all the paperwork's been completed, resubmitted to the ABCC?
It will be submitted tomorrow.
Okay, all right, good. All right, perfect.
You have another package like this handy? Did you get a package? Did you get one? I already gave you that.
You give it to me?
All right, so that'll be submitted tomorrow, we're good there. And any questions, issues, or anything else that's come up with them? They're all good? Okay. And new business, anybody have any new business for License Commission? Roland, anything?
No, thank you, sir.
All right. Good, nothing from my end.
Bosses?
No.
Make a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, meeting is adjourned at 5:09.